Okay, so let's start our meditation. Take a comfortable posture. You can try a small exercise to stretch our body, the middle axis of the body. So when we are sitting in the cross-legged posture, so pay attention to the middle axis of the body. That is the line joining the very top of our head and to the point in between sex organ and anal. The base chakra and the crown chakra in an easier expression. So we join the strict line in between these 2 points. This is what was called the Susumna. And this is the supporting pillar of the body. And when we can have such supporting pillar straight and stable, then the whole body can be sitting in a stable posture and relax deeper. And the way to find out such middle axis of the body, because usually we don't have much feeling towards this line. So we do some exercise to feel it. So with in-breath, so you can try to push your head upward and sink your bottom down. Just like you're pulling on the 2 ends of a thread and pull it straight. So in the same way, we pull this middle axis straight with in-breath. And when we pull the string straight, and then we can adjust the right place. Sometimes it's not in the right position. So you can swing your body a little bit to find the body weight be falling onto the right place. Adjust the body into the right upright posture. And then with out breath, relax. And when relaxing, the feeling is just like you are putting your head on the base point of this middle axis. You're putting the crown chakra on the base chakra. So it's just like a perspective looking from upward. You adjust the right place and then relax. Just through your body weight onto the ground, through the middle axis. So this is the way to do it. Combining with the breathing, it can be a kind of yoga practice. You can do it for many times with in-breath and out-breath. Take a deeper breath than usual and do it slowly, gently. The stretching should be comfortable. So do it with ease and relax with ease. So you can regard this as kind of warm-up exercise before our meditation. And you will find that when we do the exercise like this, and the body will be much safer in the meditation. And you give us better conditions for the mind to relax easier. With in-breath and out-breath, stretch and relax. Your face should be looking forward, should be facing forward. Stretch to the extent that you feel comfortable. You don't need to make it too extreme. And during the exercise like this, the longer breath will provide us with more oxygen, make us awake. through the stretching and relaxing. Then we can have the feeling on the middle axis of the body. We know whether our posture is in the right position or not. Sit on the base chakra. That means our hip should be a little bit pushing backward. And relax the joint between your legs and lower abdomen so that your legs will be touching the ground as much as possible. And the base chakra is the center of earth element of the body. So when it sinks down, touching the ground, and this is grounding, and it will give us a sense of security, both to the body and to the mind. And with practice, you get more familiar to this, and will do it easier and easier. But now it is just a warm-up exercise for our meditation. Okay, now we turn back to our natural breathing. So now the body is in the right position, in the right posture, and relax all the other parts of the body, except the middle axis, which is supporting the whole body posture. And all the other parts of the body just relax, just leave it empty. Breathe normally. Let the body take the right to control the breathing, not you. And then now we can just leave the body sitting here and breathe itself. And let's pay attention to the area of the brain. Breathing is continuing normally, and it is the background of our meditation. Unless we are intentionally using it as a tool to deal with the five hindrances. Otherwise, we just leave it normal, leave it natural. So pay attention to the brain. Feel the whole brain, including the eyes. Relax and unfold the brain. And now the breathing is just like a stream of light. Every in-breath brings a refreshing light into the brain, penetrate into every corner of the brain. It is cooling and refreshing and relaxing. And with our breath, I just threw out all the stress in the brain. You just visualize this, and the body will have its own judgment how much to breathe in and out. If the body feels want to have a longer breath, then it will do it. We just allow it. We don't need to take part in this in the controlling process. Just let it happen. Usually when we have the feeling of tiredness in the brain, then we will normally want to take a longer in-breath. This is a normal reaction of the body, because the brain needs more energy, needs more oxygen. So it will want to take a longer in-breath. And what we need to do is just to give such breathing, the breath, a good image, good connection. And visualize it as kind of refreshing, cooling light. This is to grant our breathing with positive meaning, positive energy. Actually, everything is created by mind. Our imagination has power. If we have good feeling towards our breath, then the breath will be full of positive energy. Yeah. And on the other hand, if we have negative feelings towards breath, then this breath will have negative energy. So by visualizing the breath as stream of light, this is a positive meaning. And such positive meaning will heal, repair our body. It works not only in the consciousness level, but it also influences our physical body. The mind or the knower just stay there and know and perceive the breathing as stream of light, and how long or how short the breath should be. This is the duty of the body. Now remember, you are just a humble knower. And the only thing the knower can do is just to choose what perspective to know. So visualizing the breath as light is to choose a positive perspective on breathing. And that is what we need to do. And anything other than this is a duty of the nature. Every in-breath, the light penetrates deep into every nerve. And now breath, relax. Embrace the feeling of tiredness. It is tired, it is sick, and it needs your healing. And when you grant the breathing with a positive image, then you will enjoy the breathing. You can breathe with ease, with happiness. taking the stream of light and relax the brain as much as possible. When the more the brain can relax, and the easier it can absorb the light. Personally, I found this method most effective in dealing with the problem of sleepiness. Just enjoy the breathing, enjoy the flowing in and out of the light. And every part that the stream of light reaches, it is relaxed, it is cooled, and it is melt. It softens the brain, softens our nervous system. Keep it soft and gentle, and maintain your positive connection. Be open to the tiredness of the brain. Don't resist. Open to it, embrace it, and heal it. It is our duty to take care of this body and mind, to make it as our assistant for understanding Dhamma. They are not our enemies, but they are our sick friends. They are sick with the 5 hindrances. And the reason for our meditation is to heal the sickness. the more you can relax, then the clearer the feeling you can extend into the brain. And the deeper you can extend into the brain, and more light can penetrate into the brain. Extend your friendly attention deeper and deeper into the brain. Together with the light and your loving kindness. We need to be patient because it takes time to cool down, to relax. We stay with the brain until it becomes gradually cooled down and stable. If the brain is very tired, then you can to stay with this stage longer. But when your awareness becomes more stable, then you can just leave the brain aside and let it relax and take a rest itself. So now we just leave the brain taking a rest itself. And then we switch our attention to the center of the chest. There's another friend we need to take care. In the same way, extend our friendly awareness into this area to feel it. To feel how it is. Is there any stress, any unsolved inner conflict? Let it open, let it be relaxed. Your awareness is just like the light, and together with the breathing, which is the breeze from the nature. So it is a bright breeze. And such breath penetrate into the heart chakra, brings warm and bright greetings to this friend. If there's any frozen part in this area, may it be melt under the light. Gently relax and open the door of the heart. Open like a lotus blossoming. Little by little, layer by layer. Let it blossom under the light and the wind of the breathing. And release all the stress inside, all kinds of tension, all kinds of unsolved emotions. All kinds of imbalanced emotions, liking or disliking. Just let go all these drives in the heart. Just return it to the nature. So now our brain and the heart is relaxed in the breathing. So just keep it relaxed and open. And just let the nature heals these two friends. And the knower is just doing nothing. Just know whatever it is. Don't disturb the process. You can appreciate such beautiful process of the nature. It is the work of the light and love. It is not you. Your appreciation grounds the breathing, positive energy, grants the healing power to yourself. So always keep a positive perception. This is the way to heal yourself. Appreciate the breathing and wait the time to pass. Relax the knower, relax the mind. Try to be content with non-doing. Just simply know and appreciate. Know with contentment. The more you can keep yourself non-doing, then you can easier to know, can easier to find that actually the body is so clever. It knows how to adjust itself. When to take a longer breath, when to take a shorter, when to stop breathing. When it is completely balanced, then the breathing disappears. But we don't need to expect anything to happen. But when it happens, just let it happen. Just know with content. Be content to whatever happens at the present moment. And when we can keep knowing the present moment, you can feel the time flows. If we are deluded in the past or the future, deluded in the concepts, thinking, then we don't have such sense of time passing. Because we are cut off from the reality. So it is a blessing that we can clearly feel the flowing of time. We feel this as an outsider, as an observer. You can see everything is changing with the time passing. Your breathing, your brain, your heart, your thoughts, sensations, everything is changing with the time. Even the knowing itself is also changing with time. It arises and ceases away in every moment, just like all the others. The whole world, whole universe is arising and ceasing in a single moment. This is the meaning of Sabbe Sankhara Anicca. Sankhara is the fabrication. It is a phenomena, not only meaning our subjective brain function, but also meaning everything which is subject to change in the whole universe. Everything that happens in the time-space, this is Sankhara. All Sankharas, either internal or external, are subject to change, subject to impermanence. You can see this simple truth by noticing the time passing. In every single moment, the mind perceives only one object. But we can discover the whole from the one. And in the same way, we can discover the one from the whole. We just pay attention to the breathing, then we can discover the whole universe. Or if you pay attention to the whole universe, you finally find the one, which means the same nature of everything, anicca. Separate the knowing from the known. Separate the mind from the objects. When the mind can separate from everything that it knows, then it is independent. It can see things as they are. And on this basis, you can simply feel the passing of time. That means let the mind live at the present moment. When the mind lives at the present moment continuously, that is the passing of time. Now remember what our perception towards the concept of time means changes. We have the sense of time because we are knowing something changing. Either changing physically or mentally. It's because of the changes in our sensual experience. Then we have the sense of time. If there's completely no changes at all, then we don't have the feeling of time. We cannot feel the passing of time. So once we can still have the feeling of time passing, that means we are experiencing something changing. Even such changes in experience is not coming from our eyes, ears, nose, but it comes from the brain, the mind. Our brain is always active, always functioning before we die. Even in the deepest absorption, jhanas, the brain wave is still working. Such background vibration give us the sense of time. This is the changing. And from such changes, we perceive time. We can feel the time passing. So once you are awake, you can feel the time passing. Once you can feel the time passing, you are awake. So now the time has passed. The meditation ends here. Okay, number 10.
Oh, I discovered one thing. Right now, I'm more frequently doing meditation, Ajahn. And during the morning when there's no disturb, my meditation goes quite smooth. And after the whole day working and hustling right now, my brain hasn't stopped a lot.
So now do you feel better?
A little bit, a little bit. I was leave in the middle because my neighbor was so noisy about playing a movie, so I knocked the door and say, "Could you please start doing meditation section right
uh, just relax the brain. Uh, when the brain takes enough rest, then it will reach the point of a balanced point. And at that point, we will know it. Then you feel the difference. The brain and the mind can be peaceful, easier than before. But before this, we will still find that making the mind peaceful is a difficult task. It's because our brain is not balanced. We are using it too much and having too less rest. So a healthy brain, we can let it think or let it relax. This is a healthy state. But once we find that it's difficult to stop thinking, and this is sickness. It needs more rest. Just breathe in and out. You can do it with a positive visualization. It helps a lot. A simple visualization combines. It contains a lot of message inside. It combines a positive feeling and also the cooling and relaxation message to the brain. Just imagine that the breath is light. It's light with positive meanings like this. Then it will heal the brain and heal the 5 hindrances. Try to practice this more and do it do it with ease, with selfless mind. You are not the one doing all these things, but the nature, the breathing is doing the work. You just give it a positive meaning, and then know it. Simply know it. Okay, try to enjoy it.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, good night.
Good night. See you next week.
Number 5. Today you are alone.
Yes.
Where's your friend?
Real, I couldn't make it today.
How is it today?
Yeah, it was different because it was this visualization. It was very helpful. I found the mind was following and very present and very relaxing. Very nice.
Yeah, it is. I find it very helpful with the skill of visualization like this. And it also simplifies the meditation, combines a lot of steps into the same thing. And it is always also has the effect of healing, energizing the mind, because the symbol of light gives us a lot of meanings, gives the mind a lot of meanings. And it can also cure the depression syndromes. And it is especially useful for those living in the Northern Europe in the winters. Try to lit up your inner sun, inner source of light. It is very helpful. So we don't need to look outside the window. The sun is inside our brain. And with every breath, it brings the light to the whole body. So enjoy this process, appreciate it. This positive attitude is extremely important in our meditation. People always ignore the attitude of doing the meditation. They just focus on the meditation object, but they ignore the subject, the attitude of the subject. Sometimes they are doing it with a negative attitude, and that accumulates a lot of negative energy. But when we are doing knowing the meditation object with a positive mind, and then the effect is completely different, and you can feel what is your mind is balanced. It is in a perfectly stable status. You have the feeling yourself, and the knowing becomes automatic. It's effortless. That means the stability of mind. Samadhi means stability. Trying to bring this out in your daily life. Once you have time, just enjoy the leisure time of doing nothing. Just simply sense the passing of time with content. The last two words are very important. Okay. Okay. Have a happy weekend. And number 3.
Meditation continuing in my daily life. I'm in a very stressed environment and at this COVID pandemic, because my kindergartens are operating and daily I have to contact with so many people. But I was control myself to be knowing.
You just when whatever you are doing, just sense the passing of time. When we are walking in time. When we are thinking in time. Whatever we are doing, and no matter how worried we are, the time passes away in the same way. So this is the equanimity of the nature, right? It's the equanimity of the universe. When we feel this, then our mind becomes the nature, and we copy the equanimity to our own mind. Try to look from this perspective. The mind will be peaceful, no matter what we are doing, and our mind will be bigger, embrace much more things in the world. You find that they are tiny actually. Just perform our duties, but it is this body and this brain doing the work, doing what she need to do. But the mind is just feeling the passing of time. When time passes, everything changes, good or bad. It's the nature. Okay. Number 4.
Normal, but I keep wondering what my mind.
Where have you gone?
Thinking for my coming challenges in my study, because I'm starting my last semester study.
If you find this uncontrollable, just come back to relaxation of the brain. So a little bit focus on the relaxation, but do this within the extent of still the mind still feeling content. Be content with the concentration. Don't make it too stressed. When the mind is content with what it is doing, then that's fine. This is not stressful. And try to cultivate such content to what we are doing. This is the secret of happiness. Relax the brain with. Do you find the visualization useful for you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you find it useful, then you can use it, because when the mind is interested in using a certain method, that means that this method is quite suitable for it. It makes the thing easier. So keep on practicing like this. We train the mind able to think, to take up the responsibility, and also train it to relax, to let go when it is time to relax. This is the way to keep the brain healthy. Okay. And number 11.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Today, actually, overall, I think it went okay. Like in the beginning, I still struggle a little bit with the drowsiness. But towards the end, I think my mind was pretty calm and trying to following the talk and try to digest at the same time. And it felt pretty peaceful. But then towards the end, like my leg was giving me a lot of trouble. It was quite painful.
Your leg complained.
Yeah, my leg complained, and it's quite painful. But I mean, I wasn't fighting. I mean, I don't like it, but I wasn't fighting it.
That's good.
But I just feel, the change, like you said, like the pain introduced, like it changed the breath, right? And then it actually changed my body posture, because I cannot keep the crown and the
base,
the base connected. Like my body was slanted, but I was just trying to be aware of it. It's unpleasant, but I feel like it was a good session. So thank you.
If the body posture is too distractive, then you can adjust it into the right place. But do it mindfully. Do it slowly, mindfully. That's fine. It's not something bad. And the most important thing is keep the mind positive. Keep our perception positive, whatever we are doing. Because otherwise we are creating stress. Even we are calling ourselves doing the meditation, it's supposed to be something relaxing. We're relieving our stress, but actually we are creating stress because the mind is not pleased. The mind is not happy in doing that. Right. So keep our attitude positive. It's not about the feeling. Sometimes the body is tired, the body is painful, but our mind can still be positive. And this is a very important training. When we can keep our mind positive, even when we are facing something negative, and we can extend this ability in our daily life, right? Then we can transform our life. We can change our life from negative to positive, even all negative things happening every day. So whatever it is, at least to keep appreciation in the mind. This is quite good. It is still good. At least I'm not died. I can still be mindful. So enjoy every moment and that you are mindful. Appreciate yourself of being mindful. And when we are mindful, then existence itself is kind of happiness. And that's all. We simply feel the passing of time, and we are content with this. Try to live with the least conditions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
14.
Yeah, John, good afternoon. the meditation actually generally was very good. So can follow Ajahns guidance, although there is a lot of water thoughts, not go too deep, like about 10% and come back.
10% only, right?
10% only. I think it's like an auto mode already. It's like if Ajahn wants go too small, then we come back very automatically. I actually very sensitive to the bird chirp at Ajahn side. So also one of the object that I noticed that I'm back. So all in all. So that's all. Today the physically very tired also.
Just learn how to be open to the tiredness, both the tiredness of the body or of the brain. Sometimes the tiredness of the mind. The mind is tired only by the greed, aversion, and delusion. Sometimes when the mind is tired, and this is a bigger problem than the brain tiredness, because the mind refuses to know, doesn't want to know, is lazy to know. This is the tiredness of the mind. And in this situation, we need to keep our knowing smaller, make it smaller and smaller. We don't need to maintain a big knowing, but just maintain the tiniest, just a small dot of light. That's enough. Just keep the fire. And when time passes, when we keep non-doing, then the nature will heal this person, and the awareness becomes stronger. The light becomes brighter. It is natural, but the important is to keep our the continuity of mindfulness, of knowing. Otherwise, it's difficult to start the fire again. It doesn't matter whether this knowing is big or small, but at least it should be there. When we are tired, we need to be more humbler. We are not to fight against the tiredness. It's meaningless. On what position we are to fight against the tiredness? The body or the mind is tired, then it is natural for us to feel tiredness. And the way to balance it is to take rest, right? But because we are so used to control it, so used to interrupt, and such interruption makes the body and mind cannot rest well. So what we need to learn is to learn non-doing, to keep our mind non-doing, simply feel the passing of time. And this is the position of non-doing. And do it and feel the passing of time with content. This is to grant the positive meaning, the positive energy to the breathing, to the healing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Today's guided meditation is quite new age. Okay. Next one. Number 9.
Good afternoon again.
Yes.
Okay. Today, okay, the meditation is okay. Half of the time, my mind again drift back to the same issue that happened in my office 2 days ago. But at least the impact is less. Maybe like 2 days ago, there's some issue happened, and then only I realized that my mindfulness was not strong. Hence, the samadhi was not strong. It affected me. So today is the 3rd day. Cool down already because I did meditation. So I guess it's training. Ajahn, I have one question to ask you. Let's say I feel that when I meditate, if my eyes open, it's easier for me to be at the present moment. But if I close, it tends to wander. So you think I should open up do it with open eyes?
Because you are too attached to the vision. different people may have different tendency to emphasize a certain sense faculty. Some are eye-oriented, some are ear-oriented, some are the brain-oriented. So we are cultivating the mind. It is not the senses. Senses are just the doors of the mind. So try to come back to the origin. Even when our eyes open, we are looking at something, the changes in the forms. We should also be aware to the knower, the one who is knowing. And in the same way, we apply it to the thinking process. Now the organ which is thinking is the brain, and the mind is not the brain. So try to apply it in the same way, because we must face it. We cannot always open our eyes in our whole life. We must have time when the eyes are closed. Or if before you are dying, you can open your eye, then how can you do? Right? So we need to train the mind to be aware, even in the thinking process, to separate itself from the brain. Just know that the thoughts are just the objects of the brain, just like the forms are the object of the eyes. But the mind is another thing, is behind. So ask yourself, who is knowing? And also notice all these things, the forms and the thoughts, all of these are happening in the passing of time. Without the passing of time, then they are still, they are static, right? So the time is passing in the same way, but only that your object is changed. The object that you pay attention to is changed, but actually it is the same. The life continues in the same way. It is passing away moment by moment, second by second. Try to feel this truth. Whatever you are doing, try to keep the mind stable. Keep the mindfulness stable. If we attach too much on the object, then once the object changes, we don't know how to maintain our mindfulness. But if we simply feel the background of the objects, then when the object changes, the background is still there, right? Now our background is the passing of time. No matter what object it is, the time is passing in the same way, never change, right? So it is a more stable object for us to maintain the mindfulness. Just kind of feeling. I try to taste the passing of time, the flowing of time. Actually, when we have the sense of time passing, we are experiencing the changing in our sensual experience. Sometimes it's from the eyes, sometimes from the ears, sometimes from the brain. But no matter what we are paying attention to, they are always changing. That's why we can feel the time passing. When your mindfulness become sharper, then you can see this. So it is a quite good skill to sense the time passing in the daily life. It's a quite useful method, at least for me, to maintain the mindfulness. And try to do this.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. And then Greg, do you have something to say today, or enough yesterday? You should unmute yourself first.
I'm getting very deep in my meditation, but I'm finding that I've got to kind of analyze the body at the moment. I'm trying to get under my skin and so they analyze my organs, and I find that very difficult, sort of play around the body a bit.
Yeah,
Any hints to get started in that area?
If that's difficult for you, then you can just pay to a bigger area, or simply the body as a whole. And that is also quite enough for us to cultivate the dispassion towards the body. It is only one of the techniques that we try to separate the body into different body parts, but it's not the only way. The goal for doing this is to cultivate the dispassion, which is going against our attachment to the body. So you can choose maybe part of it or just as body as a whole. It also work. So just like when we are doing something, we're walking around, we are breathing. It is the body doing all this, right? So we gradually cultivate the sense of distance from the body. It is not me, and this is the process cultivating the dispassion.
Now, see, with my skin, I've been able to completely. It's almost like going over it like a handheld wand. I can with my thoughts, I can feel,
Yeah, you can do it. Personally, I think the skin on the face is the easiest to visualize, because it is close to the eyes, to the senses, right? So we are more sensitive in the facial skin. So pay attention to the face, the skin of the face. Try to feel it or visualize it. And sometimes when your mindfulness is enough, then you can gain the nimitta of the skin.
But I've already moved on to my arms and my legs and down to my ankles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
what I'm having the issues with.
When you can do it, when you can visualize parts of it, then you can visualize the whole of it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get under the skin. That's the part that I'm sort of.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with.
But you need to see the skin first, and then imagine to peel off the skin.
All right.
Okay, you can try it, but do it when your brain is relaxed, your mind is unified. Otherwise, it's not that effective.
Yeah.
Although we can make the mind being more peaceful during visualizing the skin, but it's not that effective than the specific, the specially designed method going against the 5 hindrances. This is my personal way of thinking. Maybe you are different from me. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And anyone else? Number 2.
Good morning, Ajahn. The meditation was okay, but at the very beginning, I was a bit drowsy. But later, the energy come back very quickly. And I used to, watching the passing of time, in which is very helpful. On the past week, I walk after dinner every evening, and then it's just a walking meditation, passing of time, just being very mindful. And I'm doing the 8 precept today, every Sunday. I try to keep up the Dharma practice, and but sometimes when I get lost myself, the mindfulness, I said, oh, why I get lost? But I just let it go, and then start it over again. I'm still keep on doing it, but sometimes this is I failed, but I do it again, and it even though it's not too good or too satisfactory, I'll try to do it again. And every night before I go to sleep, I'll sit for another 45 minutes. Yeah, that's how that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but remember the first principle of our practice is to keep our perception positive.
Yeah.
Perception to our practice. Don't do it with a negative mind. Even we failed, we can perceive it in a positive way. This is a good attempt. It's a good try, right? And give us more energy to continue. Then next time I'll be doing it easier. So you can ask Freddie. He's quite good. He's a master in thinking this way, positive thinking. But this is true because we usually ignore the attitude of the mind, the feeling of the mind. Even when we have some painful feeling, sensation, we can interpret it in a positive way and keep the mind positive. This is the way to keep the mind positive. So when the mind is positive, then we are doing everything at ease, with ease. So we with the breathing, we breathe with ease. When we're walking, we walk with ease. When we're talking, we talk with ease. We're observing 8 precepts, we observe with ease. It's not a torture for us, but it's enjoyment because we are cleansing the mind. We are refraining ourselves from the evil sources, from the sources that make us suffer. Finally, we'll find that this is the greatest loving kindness to our own mind. So in this way, we practice with ease, with content. This attitude is very important. Do everything with content. Then even when we're waiting the time to pass, waiting the meditation session to end, we wait with content. When the knees are painful like hell, then we can wait with contents.
So I'm still working in the laboratory to do this experiment every day. Trying to see if I have made a little bit progress. At ease, at least be a bit happier. Not expecting too much, but at least even though I'm making mistakes or not performing so well, I have to understand it is impermanent. And then, just go on working, just go on practicing.
And also enjoy the impermanence. Appreciate the impermanence. Because if we can appreciate, that means we are standing in a non-self position. If there is self, we cannot appreciate impermanence. Okay, so number. So anyone else? You can raise your hand yourself. Oh yeah, number 1.
Okay. I don't think this is like a very sophisticated question, but I need to ask you. So, like my mom and I went to the fortune teller this morning, and the fortune teller told me, like I shouldn't live in Korea. I should go abroad.
Living what?
I shouldn't live in Korea.
Korea, okay.
And I should live abroad, like anywhere else.
Okay.
And it made me think about I really wanted to go abroad and live in other places from when I was younger. And I remember like being in Thailand and also in the United States was very happy for me. Yeah, but like after a while, like coming back to Korea, I just let go everything. So and like I just adjusted my life to living in Korea. But I was thinking, if I'm more happy like abroad, it would be okay for me to live there.
If you're happy living in Korea, then it's okay for you to live in Korea too.
Yeah, but there are some like downsides of living in Korea, is because like Koreans are like a lot like kind of angry. Yeah, so like I really like don't like people like saying bad things about to me. So, but like they're easy to be angry. So like it was I had a hard time adjusting to that like growing up. But but I had a great time in Thailand because Thai people are not angry at all, and then also in because they're not angry at all. So,
because you're not going deep enough.
Yes, I haven't gone deep enough, but yeah, but I can compare a little bit because like strangers are angry at me in the street all the time. So yeah, so it's kind of like I gave up the expectations like a long time ago, but like the fortune teller stirred me up again. So like I'm asking, Lumpur told me not to run away from my situations.
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
You can escape from your country, but you can never escape from your karma.
Okay.
The karma is in the mind, is with you, right? And our greed, aversion, and delusion is our karma. If we cannot change these bad habits, then no matter where we live, we are cultivating in the same way. So if you can overcome this in Korea, then you can go everywhere.
Oh, so you're saying I shouldn't just go abroad just to avoid those kind of interactions.
Yeah.
I should go when I really need to go.
You can go after you feel that everywhere has no difference for you.
You should travel. Everybody should travel. That's it. When the borders are open, you should travel. People who don't travel understand how the world goes together.
Yeah, because you're thinking in a way to travel rather than to live.
Yeah.
To live is another story. So you change every country into Korea finally.
Well, yeah, but like it's weird. Like I mean, she was very she seemed like she knew a lot of things about me. So like I would like towards the end I was kind of listening to what she was saying, and it made me very confused because like originally what I thought was that I should meditate with Ajahn Yiu and try to overcome my anger towards Korean people.
Only you yourself can overcome the anger.
How did you go with your teacher? Did you show him your fist?
And but my personal opinion is that it is a good training for the mind.
So
the place you feel difficult, that means the more you are in need to stay there.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a bigger task, a bigger training for you.
Yeah, so now it's like I'm a little bit more settled because of what you said. And I think I should sort of think of it like Korea as a forge. You like you knock on the iron to make it steel.
Just imagination. Just face to yourself. Be open to your mind, because all the problems comes from here.
Okay. But
it's not about country.
It's not about the country.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think I shouldn't listen to her and rather.
But this doesn't mean that I'm prohibiting you to not to leave Korea. I just say that when it is like this, then it's right when we can face directly to our difficulties, to our defilement. This is more meaningful than moving to another country. It doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
Right. only facing to ourselves as we solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When there's no problem in our mind, then everywhere is pure land.
And I think I knew it wasn't a sophisticated question, but I needed to ask your for your view.
Okay. So anyone, any more questions? Do you think today's way of guided meditation is better? Really? All right. So I need to change to be a New Age monk.
Grow some hair.
Before this, I'm an old age monk. Okay, no problem. No questions, right? Okay, then we can end earlier today.
Thank you very much for all of you for joining this session, and certainly we thank you for Ajahn's teaching, and also we appreciate the support from the Meiji Fafa and all the Dharma friends who make all this happen. And let's bow to Ajahn for 3 times. Ajahn Udana Abhivadana. Ajahn Udana Abhivadana. Ajahn Udana Abhivadana. Ajahn Udana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for all of you.
Remember, life is a process of cultivating the mind. No matter what we are doing, facing to our own mind, and this is the way to cultivate the mind. The only meaning of life. Okay, see you next week.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ajahn. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you to all.
Cheers. See you again soon.